Today I have an Agile Septor 7-string 827 mahogany. It has a 28 5/8 length of a neck, rosewood fingerboard. It's a neck through with a 5-piece. Seymour Duncan blackout. It came with 2, but I took one out for the key switch. And it has volume, tone, 2-nomadic bridge, Graphtec black tusk nut. It has Grover tuners, and it has a nice ebony fingerboard. And 24 jumbo stainless steel frets. So, let's get started on the pros and cons of this instrument. So the pros are, it is long. And for a 7-string, right now I'm in drop E and whole octave below standard tuning. So there's a lot of sustain and beef on the low string, and the amount of length it has, and the mahogany body, which is a neck through, causes a lot of resonance in the low end. Super beefy, and the Seymour Duncans have a lot thicker of a sound than on an EMG set. And as you see, I did another review video with an LTD that has 2 EMG 707s on a 25.5" scale length. And on that guitar, the EMGs work really well because it's not built for such a low sound, whereas this one is meant to be a beast and just growl. Not saying that LTD isn't a beast, but this one is just has such a low end. And the frets are beautiful, beautifully crowned. Not a bad spot. They're well leveled. Pretty much, playability-wise, this guitar feels really smooth. It's really inspiring to play on. It feels really nice to play on natural guitars, in my opinion. It feels really nice. And the tuning holds amazingly well. It always stays in tune. And right now, I have a 100-gauge string on it. That is a G string on the bass guitar. And I managed to fit it through. So that's pretty cool. The string is a bit big for the saddle down here, but it sits on it well and it doesn't slip off, so it's nice. Now, another thing that I love is that with the active, check this out, it unclips. That's it. You don't have to unscrew it with a screwdriver or anything. You clip it out, pop the battery out, pop it back in, boom, big, good to go. Bam, bam, boom. Wonderful. Now, I'm going to get into the cons now, the bad parts of this guitar. You ready? There's none. Just kidding, there's a few. The truss rod, ever since I got this thing, the truss rod is really, really hard to turn. Like, it feels like it just doesn't turn. So you have to like put a lot of pressure into it. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to break the guitar just by turning it like just a little bit. On all my other guitars and my other 8-string Agile, it's totally fine. Like, it turns like any other truss rod. This one, for some reason, it just like, I don't know, like it just doesn't want to turn. So it's really difficult to adjust the truss rod. And another thing is, hip shot bridges are my favorite. So this 2-nomadic thing isn't that nice for me, but that's like just a personal preference. If it was just a hip shot, like, you know, a fixed bridge, it would be a lot easier to play along, but 2-nomadics are also really nice for their own purposes. It is really easy to intonate a 2-nomadic. Maybe that's where it got its name from, 2-nomadic. Oh man, I didn't think about that, but yeah, it's really easy to set up. So that's a pro and a con. Not really con unless if you're just picky like me. And I took the back piece off for the wiring, and the wires are nice and organized. I'll show you. So now that I've got the back plate off, we'll bring in a flashlight here. So I like how they zip tied together all the excess wire. They could have left out a lot of wires, but they left in a lot for me. Maybe they just assumed that whoever's going to buy is going to modify it, so they needed extra wire. That's fine that there's a lot of wire in there because they compensated by zip tying it together. So it's very neat. It's easy to organize and clean out the pots. That's very nice about it. And the finish on this guitar is very nice. There aren't any bubbles in the lacquer like in my other Agile. There's only one spot, right this spot right here. It's just like, it's not a crack or scratch or anything. It's part of the wood, but it looks like they just filled it in with epoxy. There was maybe like a chip missing out of it, so they just put epoxy in there. So that's like the only spot that I noticed on it. Otherwise, the rest of the neck, the rest of the body has a really nice, well-made job. Like, very nice clear lacquer on this. Nice natural finish. So there you have it. There you have my review of the Agile. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know if there are anything I'm missing out in my reviews. Maybe there's something that I'm not covering on these guitars. But yeah, anyways,